Okay, I'm coming. All righty, it's time for the show. We got 26 seconds. Count down. Count it down. I don't know what I did with those heart glasses. Oh, there they are. There's my heart glasses. I don't need the screen on. All right, it's time to drink. I don't have a drink, but I have a Coke. I have a Pepsi, and I have my hot glasses. Yep, I wear my hot glasses at night so I can create smart. Hey, I am here. Are you here? Are you ready for the show tonight? And let's get going. So tonight we are going to do water slides. I made some really cool designs. Mostly words. Not everything was words, but some were words. So there was a few things that I was looking at, and when I was looking at them, I showed my daughter, and I don't know where my headphones went, so I can't show you. Oh, they're right way in front of me on my desk. So anyway, I was showing my daughter a couple designs that I was like, hey, look at this. This is funny. And they were really rude, vulgar, or offensive. And she loved them, thought they were great. My husband loved them, thought they were great. Oh, look at him. He's so wonderful. He brought me a glass of wine because my show is about wine and art. Is that Midnight Cruising. Oh, okay. That was very good. That's from Texas. It's a Texas wine. Oh yeah, the glass is from Texas too. The glass is from Grapevine, Texas. I went through there on my way to CPAC, I believe, like 2 years ago. And I stopped there, and it was actually, no, I was interviewing somebody for a DJ position for our radio station in Texas. So I went and met with them during that time. So anyway, so I came up with some ideas, and I had ran across a like a Pinterest or an Etsy thing that somebody did with teacups with offensive words on it. And I was like, oh, I really like this one because of the fact that it had these ones that said like piss off or fuck off. And I'm like, oh, that's great for lady knockers. Would you kindly just fuck off? Oh my God, did she just, you know? And oh my God, did she just swear? Oh, apparently nobody can hear. But yeah, that needs that. Oh my button, God, right? Did she just swear? But they say different things like piss off, and there's a lot of other words I'm not going to even use, but I'll gladly put them on a cup. So part of that is meant to be like where it's not as noticeable until you drink some of it. And so this water slide, you're supposed to be able to put it on, you're supposed to be able to bake it in, and then they stay. I am going to go through the whole gamut of it. I made the water slide, cut them out, or sprayed them down like you're supposed to. Then I cut them out. I don't know how healthy or how good that is on the spray. I think you need to probably buy something if you're putting it on the inside of the glass. Like some of mine, I'm going to put on the inside of the glass. So I'm really not even worried about drinking them right now. I am worried about how they are going to come out once you bake them, if they will start flaking off. And that's what I'm interested in looking at. I'm using dollar store glasses, so if they kind of flake off, then at least I know. And then if they don't, then I'm going to see what spray you can use that would be conducive to putting on the inside of the glass, so that you can put coffee in it or tea or whatever and drink out of it and it not affect somebody's health. Yeah. Safety first. So that is what we're doing tonight. Most of our show is going to be in the art room, and we will be doing most of the art in there. So I am going to, and I do have comments on. I just seem to never get any through here. So if you are commenting or you would like to comment, please let me know. And I'm happy to chat with anyone who's there. I'm going to type a hello really quick, and then and see if anybody gets it. I send it out on all of them except for it's not going out on my personal one, which is weird. I don't know why that is. So I don't know if it's telling them that I'm not on. I don't know. So we will have to see. I really honestly don't know. I wanted it to let me know what was happening so that people could text, but I don't see I guess there is a place for people that they can text. Okay. Well, if you want to send me a message, please do. If you're interested in finding more information out about these glasses, please let me know, or cups or whatever. And if you want me to make you one, please let me know, and we can discuss that. So, and let's go in the art room and let's do a little work. Okay. I'm going to put you on intermission really quick while I go into the other room. Thanks. Put it to camera 4. All right, so we are in the art room. Are we ready to go? Is my producer ready to go? All right, so we are ready to go. So I do want to show you. Maybe better this way. So I got this today. My granddaughters, aren't they beautiful? They are so adorable. I got this from my son and daughter-in-law today. I just love them. That is going to be up everywhere where I can see them. So anyway, let's get to this. Okay, so we have no water. I did not get the water. Where is my pitcher? All right, so really quickly, well, my producer goes and makes sure there's no fuzzies or anything in the water. So what we will do is I will show you some of the stuff that we are going to be doing. For instance, if you can see this, there's lots of words on here. So one of them says, I love you, be quiet. That one's kind of for my husband to be funny. Mostly from when I'm recording in my studio, because I do voiceover work as well. So when I'm in my studio and recording, sometimes I have to. We have our handheld radios that we actually use from room to room. So when I'm in my studio, there's the water, and I'm gonna pour that in there. So we have our water ready to go for our water slides. And so anyway, so I decided that I had a lot of people that actually were asking me for some of these offensive ones. So I decided that I would go ahead and do that. So I thought, why not? That's kind of funny. So if you can see this here, there are, I love you, bye. Trump is your president, 45. Trump is still your president, MAGA. Shut up, twat. Please don't. You bitch. F this shit, bye. Shut it, you cheeky bitch. Kindly piss off. Kindly fuck off. That wasn't tea. The milk was sour. Did that taste odd to you? And this one my husband really liked the idea of. And it just says, what? And I can't stress this enough, the fuck. So that's a WTF. This is the one that I thought was super funny, and I didn't think she would like it. But if you can read that at all, let me see how close I can get. Okay, so that says, I was going to buy you a really nice present, but then I remembered you're a twat. So I got you this shit mug instead. She loved it. She thought it was hilarious. This one is going on a cup for myself, as a matter of fact. And it says, I do not spew profanities. I enunciate them like a fucking lady. And then this one is, I already read this one. This one my husband wanted. He thought it was pretty funny. Freshly brewed with black water. That's for when we're camping. He wants that on a camping one. And then it says you're spot on. And this one he kind of came up with and thought would be kind of funny. Made with love. Made with love. And it has a heart with the word love in it. Sweetened with poison. And it has skull and crossbones. So, yes, if you are easily offended, please don't watch this show. Disclaimer, I do not care about political correctness. If you are unhappy with my show, don't watch it. That's what I have to say. So I am going to go over really quickly. Remember when we did the water slide on the canvas? So this one turned out really good, minus the edging. I actually like some of the glitter being in it. And since she is a huge dog person, she'll probably get a kick out of the fact that there is some dog hair in it. But it stuck very, very well. I'm just peeling the piece off. I'll probably use a little X-Acto knife to get it nice and clean. But it really adhered to that very, very well. And you can see in it that you can see the design of the canvas. I will probably not give this one to her, even though she would accept it happily. But what I didn't like, and I didn't do enough coats over so that you absolutely could not see the words inside, but you can see the words. So this would need a couple more paints or covers of either Mod Podge, or I would probably put a little bit more white paint than Mod Podge. And I did like 2 coats of white paint and like 2 or 3 coats of the Mod Podge, but I would probably do a couple more than that and make sure that you just couldn't see the words at all. As for the one that I did with my son and daughter-in-law and grandbabies, that one it stuck. It did eventually stick, so it would have stuck. The center part stuck really well. It tears very easily, and it did not wrap around, and it did not stretch at all. It just breaks. But again, I did this on a canvas that was already done, and I didn't treat it with anything, so it had a harder time sticking. But it did stick, and it is something that you could use in a pinch if you had to. Now, most of these people that I've watched doing water slides, they don't use. Now, you know, when you have art that you do in your studio, art room, wherever you do it, I use glitter, and man, am I always finding glitter everywhere. And that's the only thing that doesn't really help when doing water slides. I mean, I have to say though, this glitter is kind of like dog hair, because I find dog hair every bloody place. So I'm pulling this out because I'm showing you that I couldn't get some of the tools that I wanted from Chalk Couture. So I ordered these tools. This is actually like a detailing kit from Amazon to do car decals. So it has little tools. They're each a different hardness. It has a knife blade and extra blades, and it came with this long flat squeegee, which I think would be great for doing all different types of art. It also came with this one, and it's rounded and slightly rounded on each side. It's a triangle, but it also has sharp point and not as sharp a points. And then there's also this one, which is a lot more stout, but it still is a squeegee. It also has this one that has cloth on one side and the squeegee on the other. And then I ordered a 12-pack of the little squeegees. And then this one's really cool. It's got a squeegee on one side that's flat, and then it has these different angles here for getting into edges and putting something on. So I ordered that from Amazon, and it was just a kit for doing decals on cars. But I thought, well, that should work for what I need it for in the first place. So again, glitter and dog hair are my nemesis. I'm constantly having to move stuff with dog hair. You're fine, puppy dog. My puppy dog is right here. So I have a couple glasses here that I'm going to do. And I'm going to try my best to keep my surface clean. Now I'm going to move some of these out of the way. So in case you didn't hear what I spray with, I either spray with this, and I have a couple other different ones as well. This is Krylon. I use a couple different ones. Nobody has said you need to use this brand, this type at all. So you can use whatever type that you're wanting to use, and you can switch it up. So you don't have to use the same thing every time. And I think it's time to have a drink. Although I'm going to put the wine glass out of my way because we have these to do. So this is a white cup. Now you can also do these in reverse, where you print them mirrored and then you put it on and then pull the backing off the other way. I've seen quite a few people do that. So you can do it however you want. So my husband really wanted this set. So I am doing this one for my husband. Yes. So this says cup of fuck-offy. One splash of no one cares, a dash of kiss my ass, add some fuck y'alls, a pinch of blow me, stir, and shove it up your ass. So he wanted one of these. So I made him one of these. So I'm definitely going to, and then it has the middle finger. So I'm going to trim this just a slight bit more because I kind of want this trimmed a little bit more. Now anything, because I did these with a invisible, transparent back. So if you do it on a white cup, anywhere where it is white, it will show up white. If you do this on a different colored cup, it may disappear. Or it'll be that color, like his hat. So we are going to put that in water, and we're going to wait for his back of his fingers. And we're going to move this stuff out of our way. And we're going to move this stuff out of our way. And we're going to let this all sit in there for a minute. And then I think I want to do the twat ones, and that one, and that one. So we will see how these all look. I'm going to move this out of my way and have that list over there. We will see how this turns out. Okay, it's sliding off. So we are going to put our glass down very carefully where we want it. And you want to put a little bit of water on your cup. You want to put a little bit of water on your cup. And then you take your water slide and you're going to place it where you kind of want it. I think for this cup, because we have the flip off on the other side, we're going to place this one like right about there. And you kind of want to hold it so it doesn't want to be able to move it a little bit. You don't want it to be stuck. And if you want to move it, you got to keep it just a little bit damp, and you get it lined up where you want it to be, because once it starts sticking, you're kind of stuck with it that way. And that one kind of looks like it peeled over the back side. So I'm going to see if I can get in there and get that other piece. Gotta get that knife that I have. So you want to use the back side of the knife, not the front side of the knife. Because if you use the front side of the knife, you're probably going to cut your design. And you want to get it back over where it's supposed to go, because it wants to. There we go. We got it. So it's movable stuff, but you want to work fairly quickly. Now I'm going to slide this down a little bit. Slide that over a little bit. You want to work any bubbles out. And this, I'm not using any squeegees right now because it's just like little tiny bubbles. I would like the way that one lady did it with the ooh, watch out, stay there. With the other spray, the glossifier, where it allowed it to be a little bit more pliable. Because then you were able to kind of stretch it a little bit more and get a little bit more out of it than what the design is intended for. But you just want to smooth this out. And the problem is it does keep wanting to move, so you've got to be really careful to hold in one place where you are happy with it and just keep it there while you smooth it out. And you want to keep your fingers a little bit wet when you're doing this, so that when you're smoothing it out, because you want it to stay, but you also want to keep it level somewhat, unless you want your thing to be crooked. But most of us don't want our stuff crooked. But you got to keep it just a little bit wet on the top where you're working, and you got to keep your fingers moving. So you just want to keep the design from sliding and leaving a gap. That's the big thing, is you don't want to have gaps, and you don't want to have missing areas. And supposedly they dry really well with the design intact. And being that these are cups, I am going to be putting this in the oven and cooking it. I believe it's like 30 minutes at like 350. So there you go. For the most part, that is how it will look. And it says cup of coffee. I already read you what it said. So that is one side. Now, let me grab my paper towels really quick, because you do want to kind of dry that off a little bit. So I'm just going to pat it. Now this one, I'm just going to set aside our little coffee. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Not that it's going to dry a lot, but it's going to dry a tiny bit while we work on the other one. Because I figure if we do one and let that sit before we do the other side, would probably be better than trying to do the other side at the same time, because we don't want it to slip and slide off, right? So now we're going to prepare another cup and do that one. And I'm just out of curiosity, I am grabbing another thing of paper towels. But just out of curiosity, I am doing one on a black and a colored mug. Now the colored mugs I only got gray. I have gray, black, and white. And the off-white one I just did. So I don't want to do these cups on the exact same for every one of them. So I think we're going to do the twat one. We'll do that one next. That one is going on a white cup, pure white cup. And that one is just going on the front of the cup. And this one's going to be rather interesting because of the fact that this cup is like four-sided. It's not quite square. Probably should put it on the other cup in that case. That one's all rounded. I think I will do it on one of the other cups. Not that one. I'll do that on this one. Not quite moving yet. Not quite moving. It's almost there. I'll let that sit for a little bit longer in there. So if you were going to do an offensive coffee cup for somebody, a lot of times, like some of the things that I came up with were because they're things that I was thinking myself. Okay, that is sliding now. So this one I'm doing on the front. So I want to get my placement kind of on the front in the position I want it in. And I'll probably try this mirrored image because I like things mirrored. I like to do them that way. The big thing is not having it grab and moving too much. You don't want it to move very much. You want to try to get your placement as close to how you want it as possible so you can do as little messing with it as possible. Because you really don't want to mess with this a whole lot. Now I will tell you, whatever spray I was using, I don't know that I would use that spray again. Because on this one, I can see that some of the red is moving. But for the most part, it's not completely centered. Just bring it over just a little bit. But I figured since this one says I was going to buy you a really nice present, but I got you this shit mug instead, I guess if it doesn't look the best, then that's okay. Because isn't it a shit mug? I just don't want to mess with it a whole heck of a lot. And there's a dog hair. Let's get that out of there. So whatever spray I'm using, it definitely needs more layers than the 3 because it is definitely, and I'm letting it dry 20, 30, 40 minutes in between each time. So it's not like I am doing it for short periods of time. I'm really letting it dry before I, now this one I did say, I did say, love ya. And I didn't put mom because I am her stepmom. So I did put love ya mama too. Because I'm her mama too. So we'll let that sit in there again. And I'm just putting that little I love you right next to it. I'm not, I really want to keep the damn dog hair off of it. So anyway, that's what that one looks like. And my screen just constantly goes black. But that's what that one looks like. And if I were able to switch it, let's see. There you go. That's what that one looks like. So I'm going to put the lettering that says mama on it, love ya, and it says haha, love ya. So I'm going to put that right next to it. Let's see how that, let's put the cup down. And I'm going to raise that up a little bit. All right, well, we got, obviously these smaller ones are even easier to deal with because there's hardly any water underneath that slide and it slid on beautifully. And again, all of these we will be able to tell more after they're dry, and then we'll bake them and see how they look once they're baked. But the water slide thing is pretty cool. I would say anyone who's doing these and selling their cups, I would say you would have to have a little bit more of a, I'm not sure if it's the spray, what spray to use that's the best. I've watched and researched so many different ones of these lately to find out what they're using. And they all use a different one, and they're all saying that it works great, and they're all saying it's not a problem. And I used a very expensive one. Now, as this is drying, this is it drying, and it is really starting to look good. So, I'm really liking the way it's looking so far. We will see. Now, obviously, we're not going to put the WTF, and I can't stress this enough. The F. We're not going to put that one on a black and white mug. That probably wouldn't do very well. Like this one here would look great on the black mug, except for all the black lettering would disappear. So we are going to do that one on a gray mug because, and I think I have a little bit bigger one of these. I don't want any of this in water before time. There it is. And although I don't have it cut out in a circle, so I'm going to cut this out just a little bit more so it doesn't have all that excess water slide on it. And this is because I say this all the time. Um, I hate to offend my mom, but I was in the army for too long, in law enforcement, and all the other stuff that I've done. I have a potty mouth, and I cannot for the life of me, even though I know it bugs her and she don't like it, I have a very difficult time keeping myself from swearing. So my husband thought this was perfect for me because it says, I do not spew profanities. I enunciate them like a fucking lady. So there you go. So I'm going to put that in the water. Upside down. Come on. I don't want you curling. Don't curl on me. So I'm going to keep my fingers on it so it doesn't curl on me. So if you can see, I've got my hands on it just to keep it from curling. You don't need to leave it in there very long, just a couple of seconds. And I am putting this on. I drink from both sides, so I probably should just put this on both sides of the cup because I drink from both sides. And then someone could see that on both sides. So I'll probably do one side, then let that dry for a minute, and then do the other side and see how it looks. And it could be the water slide that I'm buying. I don't know. I bought it from Amazon like everybody else. um, but we will see. Okay, that's moving just fine. So I'm going to find my spot. I'm going to lay it out. I forgot to put water on there. So we'll put some water on the cup, and then we will get our slide, and we will put it on. Again, I like doing these things with y'all that you might see out there and think, "Ooh, I'd like to try that," but you just don't know how it's going to go, so you don't bother trying it. Now, I did this on purpose. I wanted the flour to be very subdued, and the flour is very subdued, maybe a little more subdued than I wanted it to be. And someone said there was a way to deal with that, and it was by um, my edge seems like it curled there. And that was by spray painting the other side, and that feels like it folded over. Yep, it folded under on itself. So I gotta try to get that out from under there. There we go. Boy, that really didn't want to come out. So this one I would have made a little bit bigger, being that it's just letters. I would have made this one a little bit bigger. Even though there's the one picture on there, it is barely can see the flower, so I probably would have done the white behind the flower. What she was saying to do is you make it the same color as the cup that you're putting it on. So, like in this case, the cup is gray. I would have made the backing gray, and then now the other thing that I've been learning or seeing doing this is it is really eating up the ink on my printer. So I would probably find a way to do this and make the designs and go somewhere, make a whole bunch of them, and go somewhere and pay for the print on my paper. It's like if you take your own paper to Office Depot, they will print on your own paper and not charge you for the paper. And it's not a lot that you save because they're going to charge you for the ink, but it's still cheaper than your ink. So this one is stretching out nicely, but being that it is a round and the way this cup is, you got to really pay attention to how your shape of your cup is, and then it's getting some of these little bumps in it, and you just want to make sure you're holding it down so that when you're pulling those out, you are not moving your whole picture all over again. So it seems like everybody that I've been watching doing this, they've been doing it for a long time, or they really know what they're doing. So I thought it would be nice for my viewers to see somebody who hasn't done this before or done it a bunch, um, and how it really is for a newbie, and not how it is for somebody that says, oh, it's super easy to do, and they've been doing it for, since water slides were invented, which I have to be honest, I never heard of them. Never heard of water slides before, and I've been doing glass art for a long time. Of course, I do everything by hand, and I hand paint it all. So I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you when this came out. I have no idea. So I'm going to put a little bit of paper towel on here just to soak up some of the water on it. But wow, I think it still looks cute. Again, I don't know that I would. Let's see if you can see it. I think the light's just not quite good enough. Okay, let me see if you can see it with the other one. There's not enough light up there. There you go. Well, somewhat you can sort of see it. But I'm going to let that sit. And then I am going to look at this other one, see how it's doing. Okay, the twat one, yeah, twat. There was a little bit of water just sticking out on the side, so I'm just making sure it's all popped out, and it all has. And then we're gonna look at this one again. So far, this one has come out very nice. Very clean, very nice. Let's do the back of this one with the flip off finger. And that has a little tattoo on his hand, in case you can see it. It has a little tattoo on his hand that says "fuck coffee." So we're going to stick that in the water. And we're going to give that a couple seconds to go in the water. And then we're going to put that on the mug. Now, these are supposed to be Christmas presents, but since my husband literally helped me make this, I'll probably let him have his cup, because it kind of would make no sense for him to wait another couple days. I'll make him something that he's not aware of for Christmas. Let's see how this is doing. Is it moving? Oh, it is moving. Okay. So we have the bird, the Grinch bird to put on. So let's find our angle. And this is literally going to go from one end of the cup to the other. So we have to be very, very sure about where our placement is, because this one is not, this does not have a lot of extra spacing. Okay. Now we're going to take this and we're going to move it over just a little bit, because our placement was a little bit off. rub his fingers till they get into place. There we go. Now I'm trying to do it like right on the back side. I'm sorry if it's quiet. I'm just concentrating. And I think I'm going to have to cut that off there because it's a little too close for the bottom of the glass. Because we can't go over the top of the glass. We do know that. We cannot go over the top of the glass, but we can go all the way to the bottom of the glass. And then, like I just did, if it's a little too much, we can just cut it off. Now you want to make sure if you're holding it on with your finger that you have water on your finger. And I don't want that to go over the top. So I'm just going to rub and get all of this water out of it and rub it to the side and to the bottom and make sure we don't mess up his thumb like I sort of just did. That's okay because I got it fixed. Now I want to hold that thumb while I rub these down. And I know some people have done this and I've watched them tear it. So you definitely don't want to tear it. And you definitely want to keep a little bit of moisture at least on your finger while you're moving it. Because if you don't, you might just tear it. And you don't want to tear it. You want to keep it nice and smooth. But you want to, so this bottom part, I'm just going to wipe around the bottom of the glass. It's only a teeny tiny little hair of design that I put over the glass. But I'd rather it be on the end there. You definitely don't want to do that on the top. And I accidentally touched the other side. It wasn't dry enough. But I'm just using my finger with some wet water and just rubbing that back out again in the spots that kind of moved a little bit. Now, I would say not real happy with, I don't know if it's the water slide or if it's the inkjet, and it's probably the inkjet because the stupid Canon won't allow you to print photo. So it's probably my printer that's making it not quite as clean as I would like it to be, but it is as good as it's going to get for now until I buy a new printer, which will probably be sometime after Christmas or whatever, when I can. But anyway, that is how it has turned out. We got the Grinch on one side, his, let's see if I can get it the other way, his finger that side, if you can see it, and I will show you this way as well. So there you go. That is his cup now, and I'm betting he'll like it. producer Steve is in the other room, so he's probably seeing it as we're discussing it and showing it. So that is our show for tonight, guys. And you know what? Let's go ahead really quick. It won't take very long to do it, but let's just go ahead and do the WTF one. We'll do it on the front of the glass. I'm gonna get some water on there. We got 10 minutes left. We can get this done. So I got some water on there. We got our water slide in the water, and there we go. We got our water slide in the water, and we got our glass all wet. We'll get this a little wetter, and then. So I'm going to have to do some investigating on what the best water slides are, and as far as ink goes, I've got to have a printer that prints like actual photos, because if you can't print photos, this does not work very well, and that's what I am learning. As I have just barely started doing this. Oh, and that one slid underneath. Okay, we don't want it to slide off underneath, I mean. We want to bring the water slide out best we can. Now we're going to hold this down and get that dog hair out of there. Blasted dog hair. The dog hair is my nemesis. But when you have dogs like we do, it tends to seem like there's dog hair on everything. Dog hair in the food. And it's not because we're dirty, because the damn dog hair just floats everywhere and flies everywhere. So like when I was spraying these today, I took my sweatshirt off outside the bathroom because it's winter here. So it's too damn cold. So we cannot do this outside. Can't spray them outside or anything like that, because they would definitely never dry and they would never last. They're too cold outside. You got to have a decent temperature. So now this one I'm going to stretch just a little bit on the fuck. Yeah, I'm going to stretch the fuck out just a little bit. Is that stretching it the fuck out? I think so. We're going to move this over just a little bit. I'm trying to have this one. This is the only one that I actually have somewhat of a measurement, because this cup actually has a angle to it. You can see the water pushing out of it. You can definitely see the water pushing out of it. So let's get a little bit of water on my thumb there as I'm pushing this one out. You can feel the crevices on the cut out a little bit. Yeah, that it's probably the ink and the way the ink goes, but that's okay. I'm going to be getting a new printer as soon as I possibly can, I'll be getting a new printer. I'm gonna get an Epson printer because they work the best for art related stuff. So this is just going to be on the front of the cup, not on the left or the right side. This will be on the front of the cup. So when you're drinking, it will be on the front of the cup like that. Like that. It'll be on the front of the cup. So when you're drinking and you set it down, I guess you just set it down frontwards because that's where I put it, was on the front. But again, it says what, and I can't stress this enough, the fuck. That's what I think about right now, everything that's going on. So it's very fitting. And we are going to let those sit and dry. So we have our 3 cups. I do not spew profanities. I enunciate them like a fucking lady. And then our what, and I can't stress this enough, the fuck cup. And then this one, I was going to buy you a really nice present, but then I remembered you're a twat. So I got you this shit mug instead. So we did these 3. The one I didn't get to that I did want to do tonight, but it'll be another night, is this little one right here that says, made with love, sweetened with poison. So, and let me see if you can see it over here. Made with love, sweetened with poison. So it's just kind of just to be funny when you make somebody else a cup of coffee or something. Anyway, I'm going to go head into the studio and say goodbye. Hey there. Righty, we are back. Hey, how is everybody doing? All right, we're back. We're back. Hi. So, what did everybody think about the cups? What did you think about the cups? Could you see the cups?
I did.
You did. Do you like them?
I like them.
Silly?
Yep.
But fun. Silly but fun.
Just what we wanted.
I mean, we were going for, it's been 2020 is very fitting for fuck you twat coffee cups. I mean, honestly, it has been, and I feel like I have something in my tooth. Sorry. I did have parsley in my soup tonight, so there might be. But 2020 has just been one of those years. Hey, and if you haven't seen these cups, by the way, this is the art that I do on coffee cups or wine glasses. This was themed for Wines Up Dude. It was Surfin' Santa was the theme, and I painted these glasses for everyone on the wine tour, wine party. This is the girls. They got a flower on their cup, and they're 3-dimensional. So, like the wreath here, the wreath is 3-dimensional, and the wine bottles are painted wine bottles, but the you can't really see it very well, but those are seashells, and this is real sand from South Carolina beaches. And then one year we had the theme of Pirate Santa. So that's Pirate Santa. And it's yo ho ho and a bottle of wine. And if you notice real closely, let's see if we can get this footage. There we go. His skull on his hat is Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer that my dog keeps trying to steal. And I have to sew him back together. And this was the first one I ever did. So those are little teeny tiny wine corks. And inside them, they actually have, this was Steve's. So I have, it just says wine, hope, the year, and then it has Beth and Mackenzie and Cameron and Love and all the different things written on it, and has each one of the kids' names on it. And, so that was real. If you can see how close, let's see if I can turn it right. If you can see how detailed that had to be in order. And now that was all hand painted. But they were the first wine glasses I did, and I did them with acrylic paint, and they just, this is a special type of paint for glass. So it is baked in my kiln afterwards so that it will stay. And it basically will never come off. I don't put these in the dishwasher anyway, because you never know. I don't trust that you can wash glasses unless it's etched on. I don't really trust, like my wine glasses just don't go in the dishwasher to begin with. So that's our show tonight. We did our water slides and it was a lot of fun. I think there's a little bit more investigating that I personally want to do because I'm not sure if it's the type of water slide or if it's just the printer issue that I have, but I could definitely see that the ink was kind of coming off, not staying completely. And the working time was very quick. You didn't have a lot of time to move it around without starting to affect the design. So I will probably do a little bit more research before I say this is a good product to use. And I am going to bake these so I can see how well they do. And then I'll come back like I do every time. I come back and I show you how it looked afterwards, how it turned out, how it came out. So I will do that as well. But overall, I'd say it was a pretty decent, fun little project to do. I enjoyed it. My husband is going to like his little Grinch cup of coffee. And maybe if it's called a cup of coffee, it's not quite as offensive. But again, I hope you didn't get offended. But if you did get offended, sorry. I guess I'm sorry. Sorry. I have a shirt that says sorry, not sorry. And then I have a shirt that says I kind of care. And then underneath of it, it says I kind of don't. So I'm just me. I'm who I am. And if you don't like it, oh well, take it or leave it. I don't sweat it. All right. Well, we are out and we will see you again tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow. It's only a day away. Oh, don't forget, my show is from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will be changed on my slides here soon, like by next week, for sure. Goodbye, people. Good night.